My name is John Bellick. I'm the Senior Business Development Director for Diecast at Chemtrend. Vehicle electrification is what's really driving change in the diecast industry. Structural components to lightweight vehicles, it's really changing the way we have to formulate our products. This is even getting to a greater extent now with the large gigacasting machines that are in the market, these huge structural parts, which we call integrated castings, because so many components are integrated into a net-shaped casting. This puts a lot of demands on die lubricants, our release agents, not only for the processing, but for what we need to look at for post-processing needs. A lot of these parts are coated, cathodic coated or painted. A big part of it now is also structural adhesives. So we have to make sure the surface residues we leave on a casting don't impact that adhesion. This is even more so important now that the trend is going towards self-hardening alloys. So alloys that don't go through a heat treatment process, which would typically burn off die lube residues. What makes Chemtrend unique to what we bring to the diecast industry? Really, quite of this comes down to the people and our dedicated resources. We have great teams. We've got our PhDs, our research scientists, our technicians, just long-standing employees with a tremendous amount of experience and knowledge of the industry. Another thing that makes Chemtrend unique for diecast and what we bring to the industry is our dedicated investment in the industry. We have our global laboratory here in Howell, but we also have laboratories around the globe. We also do have our predictive test methods where we really look at die lubricant and its interaction with the die surface and how it's going to perform, how it's going to withstand, really what is an extremely aggressive process. When that molten aluminum or magnesium or zinc is injected into the die or the mold, we have to know how our films are going to perform, whether it's die cooling, die adhesion, once again, the performance and the wetting and spreading of the film on the die. These are all things we look at. When we look beyond our technology, another key aspect of success is our dedicated technical service and sales people we have out in the field. Their experience in truly partnering with customers is what makes a difference for us. We can innovate the greatest things in the world in our laboratories, but it's when we apply them to a customer's process that comes with our handprint. How can we impact the customer's process? But that's where the true innovation happens, when we improve that. Chemtrend also focuses on digitalization solutions. The cornerstone of that for diecast would be our Dilution IQ equipment. This is equipment that not only controls your die lubricant dilution ratios, but gives you real-time monitoring of what those dilutions are. So what this does, the system will track everything, track how much water you're using, how much die lube you're using, what those ratios are. And it sends out even automated warnings. If something's out of spec anywhere, it lets you know automatically. It really brings peace of mind in a diecast plant that it's just one less thing you have to worry about.